What's up, gamers? It's your boy, JKon. Welcome to another video. Today, we'll be talking about my pick'ems from the group stage of VCT Champions 2023, as well as go through my pick'ems for the playoff stage that will be happening on August 16th. Let's get into it. As you can see, in Group A, I got everything correct, which feels really good. Obviously, Paper Rex and EDG won their opening matchups, and Paper Rex was able to beat EDG, being the first team to qualify out of this group. Following up in the lower bracket, Giants was able to defeat Crew, and EDG was able to take the win over the EMEA side, also exiting groups. We have two Asian teams coming out of Group A. Group B. I think Group B was kind of the quote-unquote easier group to kind of get out. As you can see, I kind of didn't really do the best on this group. I got EG correct, and I think EG looked really, really good. So, poggers to that, you know? We'll take those. EG beat FPX, and they beat Foot, not T1, but they were the first team to qualify out of Group B. In the lower bracket, and this is really, really where I went wrong, I bet on the Korean gamers over the Turkish AIM, and Foot was able to beat T1 in their opening matchup. However, they did fall to EG and go to the decider match where they played T1 again and were able to take down the Korean side. So Foot escapes from this group along with EG. Moving on to Group C, I think, of course, the big surpriser was BLG, and I definitely put huge doubt on BLG, and that's probably my fault. So I am sorry to my Chinese brothers that I failed you. Okay, anyways, so Fnatic swept both their matchups, absolutely dominating and getting out of groups very easily. Of course, in the opening matchup between BLG and NRG, BLG was able to take the match, sending NRG to the lower bracket where they would meet Zeta Division. NRG was able to beat Zeta, but in the rematch against BLG, they got their ass smacked again, and BLG were able to escape the group along with Fnatic. So now we have two EMEA teams and two Chinese teams that are out of groups. Moving on to the final group, Group D, the group of death. I honestly thought this group was really, really banger. I think they had really great matchups and the games were insane. I think a lot of maps went the distance, so definitely not a group of disappointment, but pretty good nonetheless. So I think for me, the biggest standout for this, and I obviously got everything wrong in this group, was DRX. I think DRX really, really surprised me. See, in the opening, I got the guess wrong where I said Na'Vi would lose to Liquid, but obviously that didn't happen. And DRX was able to beat Loud. So the winners matchup ended up being DRX versus Na'Vi, and DRX was able to take that and be the first team to escape. Going into the lower bracket, Liquid fell to Loud, and then Na'Vi fell to Loud, being very, very close and having a really, really close battle, but Loud was able to escape, being the second team out of Group D, where I think any of these four teams could have escaped. So we have two Chinese teams, two Pacific teams, two teams from Americas, and two EMEA teams. A perfect two-team distribution for every region, and I think that is awesome. Parity in any sport is really good to see, and I am super excited for the playoffs. Now let's get to the playoffs bracket. Oh buddy. Honestly, when I saw this playoff draw, I was like, damn, there's gonna be some banger matches out here, and let me tell you, there are some banger matchups that we're gonna have. All right, at the top, Fnatic versus Loud. I am going with Fnatic. I just think they have looked really, really good so far in the tournament. Super, super clean. Really trying to vie to be that contender for a third title. Paper X versus Foot Esports. I've done this every single time, and I have doubted Turkish AIM, but I gotta go with my Paper Boys, because although some of the maps got a little bit close, I think Paper X just still looked extremely, extremely polished, and something is farming. So I can't go against the Paper Boys. I'm sorry, Mr. Fallen. You've been an absolute monster, but I'm a Paper Boy. Going down, DRX versus Billy Gaming. This one is going to be tough. I think either team could win this matchup wholeheartedly. And both of these teams are teams that I doubted heavily in the group stage. And both of them very much impressed me. But BLG only played NRG and Fnatic. Don't get me wrong. Both very, very good teams. And they did 4-0 NRG. However, I think DRX looked really, really good. Their adaptations were really well done. And I just think they just look really clean. I'm going to take DRX on this one. Moving on to EG versus EDG. This is the faded matchup of Boostio's trash talking to China. And I'm going to say EG are going to put their money where their mouth is. EG is a very, very heavy prep team, and they've had a week off, and they also had EDG go through the Chinese qualifier. So they had even more time for prep. And I think with so much prep time, as well as EG just firing on all cylinders, especially Jogamo really, really fragging hard, I'm going to go with EG. I'm sorry, Kong, but you know, maybe you'll make a super lowers run. I guess we'll find out. Moving on to the upper semi-finals. Fnatic versus Paper Rex. This is going to be, I think, the most banger matchup if we get it. I'm praying that we get it. They should win their quarterfinal matchups, but I think this is literally a grand final in an upper semifinals. It kind of sucks that it's a little bit early and they weren't on opposite sides of the bracket, but I'm still happy that there's an opportunity for it to happen. Okay, so the thing is, Fnatic have looked amazing, but I think Paper Rex is the only contender to beat them. And honestly, I'm gonna go with the Paper Boys. I know that's crazy. Sending Fnatic to the lower bracket this early. But I have so much faith in the Paper Boys. And as much as I love Fnatic and I love Boaster, I think the Paper Boys can take it. So that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Paper Boys. Crazy. I know. EG versus DRX. Both teams looking pretty good and in form. I think EG looked cleaner, but the problem was EG played against an easier group than DRX did. But also because there is so many rounds of DRX out there in this tournament, especially, I think EG might be able to pull off the win with that amount of prep. I know this is before the break, but I think EG might be able to do it. So I'm going to go for EG. A little bit NA pride here. I know it's rare, but you know, go NA. Let's go to the lower bracket. Loud versus Foot. I'm going to do it. I'm going to doubt Turkish aim. If there's ever a matchup where I think the Turkish boys can win, I think they can be Loud. I straight up think that Foot could easily take Loud. But after I made my predictions about the top 20 players list, which is linked in the description down below, you should go check it out, I think Loud can still go on a run. They looked a lot cleaner. They introduced a lot of stuff. Their triple controller comp on Ascent was something new and unexpected, and I don't think many people know how to play around that. And Les and Aspas are frying. So you know what? Vamos. Let's go Loud. I'm sorry, Foot. Watch Foot just absolutely go on a tear through the upper bracket or something, and I'm gonna be a clown. If you think Foot can go on a crazy run as a dark horse contender, please let me know down below in the comments. I know Krax and Kiwi have been frying the WQ combo, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just full of doubt. Maybe I'm just a doubter. Anyways, let's go to the other lower round 1 matchup. It is the rematch of the Chinese qualifier grand finals, which did go 5 maps. It was closer than you think, but I'm not doubting Kong. He's the anime protagonist. He's got to move on. I'm sorry, YZ. You guys have been popping off, but this is the end of the road for you, and EDG will move on. Going to lower round 2, we have DRX versus Loud, a matchup from the group stage. The only thing that I have for this matchup is that Loud can bring out newer and unique comps against DRX, but I have actually been quite impressed with the mid rounding for DRX. It's been a lot better than it was during Tokyo, and I think there's been a marginal improvement there, especially with the team synergy and being able to pivot together. And I think that helps with scrimming with Zest for an entire month. I gotta think about the maps that these guys would pick. They would probably play Lotus again. Loud totally could have won these matchups too. They played Lotus, Split, and Ascent. Loud did not play the triple smoke comp on Ascent, and it did go to 13-8. So I think they'll definitely bring it back to Lotus. I think they will take out Split, and I think they'll try to get a Jet map in there or put in Bind. But I think Loud have a pretty decent shot at beating DRX here, but I think DRX look a little bit too good. So sorry. I know I just said that Loud was going to go on a run, but the way this bracket is kind of going out, I think DRX are going to take it. Now get to lower round 2. We have another super banger matchup if it happens. Fnatic versus EDG. As much as I just said Kong is the anime protagonist, Fnatic are just too good. I think Fnatic are going to beat them and are able to contain EDG. I think EDG has done pretty well with prepping for their opponents, but one of the things that we have to think about it for Fnatic is that they have barely changed any of their comps or shown anything in this tournament or in the last tournament that they participated in. They did play Sova on Fracture, which was a new addition, but again, most of their compositions has not changed much, and they have looked so dominant. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with Fnatic. Let's go to the upper final. Paper Rex versus EDG. I'm going Paper Rex. I know I believe in the EG boys, but Paper Rex is going to take it. Fnatic is going to beat DRX. It's going to be a crazy close matchup. I think the mid-rounding between Boaster and Stacks is going to be the most important part of this matchup. But I'm going Fnatic. Fnatic versus EG in the lower finals. Fnatic are going to beat EG. And the grand finals. The rematch from upper semifinals. I think at this point, Fnatic is going to have to show a little bit more. I think especially around this stage right here. So I think they're going to have to show a lot of strats in these two areas. But I think they can win the rematch and take the triple crown. And those are my pick'ems for the playoff stage of VCT Champions 2023. I have Fnatic making an ultimate lower bracket run and taking the triple crown. Please let me know down below who you think are going to win this tournament, or if there's any matchups that you would love to see. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Stay hydrated. Peace.